Welcome back to All Hands, everyone. Google is announcing a $50 million unrestricted grant to 10 historically black colleges and universities. This financial commitment is the tech giant's largest to date for HBCUs, and the grant aims to broaden access to opportunities for underrepresented groups in STEM. Joining me now are Harry Williams, president of Thurgood Marshall College Fund and co-lead of Google's HBCU President's Council, and Melonie Parker, who is the chief diversity officer over at Google. Thank you both so much for taking the time here with us today. I've been looking forward to this conversation. Harry, we'll start things off with you. Can you tell us how important these HBCUs are, especially when considering the future of the workforce of this country? Help us break down the significance, and especially within the tech sector.
Well, again, thank you for this incredible opportunity to be on your show. And I love being here with Melonie, who's a very good friend, and just happy to be a part of this. And this announcement with Google is huge. It's game-changing, transformational, because it plays a critical role in supporting the sustainability of HBCUs in this country, and more specifically playing a role in helping to identify and cultivate diverse talent. And we do have that at our institutions. As you see on the screen here, the 10 institutions that will be the beneficiary of this amazing transformational gift to help with not only with sustainability, but also providing scholarships to support students so that they can persist towards graduation, which will play a critical role in enhancing the economy in our country. The more people we get out of college and working in major organizations like Google, the better, specifically when you look at what is happening, and by increasing diversity in a very strategic and meaningful way. So this is dynamic.
Certainly, Melonie, when we think about the money itself and what has been put forward to ensure that the opportunity provides access, that the finances provide access and opportunities for underrepresented groups in the tech industry, what about the partnership? What are some of the other elements that we can expect, even as the financial commitment has been made? Where will the partnership continue to mature and accelerate even further?
Well, our partnership actually began earlier this year, and so we meet with the 10 presidents that make up our HBCU President's Council, and we're looking at things like the lived experiences of students that join Google from historically black colleges and universities, and we're working on an onboarding project specifically for black Googlers, because we recognize that how you join a company and the experiences that you have are critically important. We're also looking at how we train our hiring managers and the people that participate in the interview process. So we're looking very holistically at the partnership and how we impact not just hiring, but the overall experience, which would help with retention as well. So we view this as certainly the national treasure that our historically black colleges and universities represent, an opportunity to really deepen and activate, our decades-long commitment.
I'm so glad that you mentioned the employee experience, even after you're able to first engage with some of the talented students that will emerge from these universities and then go on to perhaps apply for roles or apprenticeships or jobs in full-time capacities at Google and within the tech sector. What do you think needs to be done even more so to ensure that there's great soil for all of these new applicants and then new talented workers to enter into, to ensure that they can continue to grow and find more opportunity within the company, but then also more broadly within the sector?
I think we all have to do more to do our part to make sure that we're opening like the access and the network. And our goal is that all of these job seekers would look to Google as a place that they can join, grow, thrive, progress, and really looking at the full talent life cycle. So when you come in, what is that expectation, the social construct that we have that supports your whole career from entry to mid to executive levels of development, and the culture that you're experiencing. So I believe stepping back and taking a holistic look really deepens and activates what we're talking about.
Certainly. Dr. Harry Williams, got to come back to you for a second. I need to know, going forward from here, how the curriculum itself really takes into account so many different things when you are working directly with some of the powerhouse tech companies of the world, like a Google, where there is that knowledge sharing and there are those key performance indicators that you can track amongst one another with regard to the number of students that are receiving these opportunities, but also how that elevates what goes into the curriculum now that you've got access to some of the top profiles that are in tech as well?
Well, I'll tell you what it's going to do. It's going to support our faculty on these campuses that in terms of providing them with best in class as relates to technology and the partnership with Google. I can't say enough about what is happening in the tech space, and more specifically when it starts at the top. And it starts with the CEO. And if the CEO is invested in an initiative like this, then it will go throughout the whole entire organization. And at Google, the CEO Sundar has been very committed to supporting this, and then putting a top executive like Melonie to make sure that this is not just a one-hit wonder. It is a long-term strategic investment, because in order for us to see some real results at the end of this process, it's going to take some time. And it's also going to take some time in terms of not only engaging the students, but engaging the faculty and providing them with the opportunity to be exposed at the level that they've never been exposed. So that's why this partnership is so important, and because it's going to also encourage others in the tech space to get on board with this, because we do know that we have some of the best talent in the world on our campuses, and the way we do that is by providing these opportunities like this.
You know, just lastly here, Melonie, when I think about some of my favorite posts on social media that I am engaging with and watching, especially as we've got an amazingly talented wave of content creators online, one of my favorite trends and kind of trending topics is seeing young women, especially young women of color, who are posting about and debunking all of the myths about what you need to break into the tech space. And I think that's where my algorithm has started to push me a little bit more. But as I continue to think about these, naturally, I have to know from your perspective as a former HBCU grad, your advice to the next generation of female leaders in tech, and as we continue to see even more of this focus on trying to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to enter into this field and giving them resources well ahead of time to do so.
It's a great question. I'm proud that we're changing the face of what tech looks like, what a software engineer looks like. As Harry said, our CEO, Sundar, is very much leading this effort, really understands what we need to do, and we're proud to lead the way. And so I would say that Black women, don't put labels on yourself. Step into those places, and we're really looking at what adds to the environment, not what fits into the environment. And with that, we'll continue to change the game.
Dr. Harry Williams, president of Thurgood Marshall College Fund, and Melonie Parker, Chief Diversity Officer at Google. Thank you both so much for the time here on the day. Appreciate the conversation.